Content Advisory. The Ferryman's Toll. The Ferryman's Toll contains mature content and themes that may be distressing to some audience members. Viewer and reader discretion is advised. This play includes references to childhood trauma and abuse, sexual violence and its lifelong impact, mental health challenges, including dissociation, PTSD, and memory loss, strong language and intense emotional dialogue, discussions of illness, aging and mortality, verbal conflict and psychological vulnerability. Recommended for adults, 18 plus, audiences prepared for challenging emotional content, individuals engaged in conversations around healing, caregiving, and human resilience. Not suitable for younger audiences and those currently in crisis or sensitive to intense depictions of trauma. Arizona Theater Matters presents The Ferryman's Toll.
Trouble is, none of these cases gives us the kind of bang we need for the final chapter. They're a diverse group, which is interesting in itself, I guess, but none of them really puts an exclamation point on the whole thing. I need a truly next-level case to come walking through that door, or at least log into my Zoom room. In the meantime, lucky me, I get to referee a lover's spat between a couple of old lesbians. Alexandra and Marguerite. Alexandra called me. Marguerite demanded that she call. Not requested, not suggested, demanded. Other than that, not a whole lot of detail here. Childhood friends, old school bohemian artist types. Founded a theater company a million years ago, and it's still a going concern, apparently. They have a 55-year history, longer than any couple in the book, so stamina appears to be their strong suit. God, just thinking about it makes me want to take a nap.
Recording ended.
Okay, we're in the Zoom room. I guess we wait. Oh, he just put something in the chat. Please give me 5 minutes. Make yourselves at home.
Well, we are at home. Quick, before he gets here, do I have shit between my teeth?
I told you, if you're going to bite down on feces, you got to remember your fecal floss. Are you coming on Sunday for dinner?
Yes, both of us.
Because Peter is going to make Dave's grilled artichokes.
Did he get the recipe?
Yes, Peter begged him.
Surprised he gave it up.
Because they truly are scrumptious. So this is an homage.
Oh, that's sweet.
Now don't tell. It's a surprise.
I really want your scalloped potatoes. But I know I'm not allowed. God, how I miss cheese.
You can have the cheese.
Can I? I thought I couldn't have cheese.
No, you can have the cheese, but not the potatoes.
Oh, but have you seen Luana's press for her new show?
It's amazing.
She is flying.
If you hadn't insisted that we let her go into that first workshop.
Oh, she was such a jagged little pill, but her talent is off the scale.
I pity her next director. Hey, but you called it.
Straight to Broadway, that one.
Like butter. Peter and I got tickets. Are you coming with Dave and the kids?
You know, my kids would rather be flayed on a spit for all eternity than go to the theater.
You tortured them with it back in the day.
Just add a ticket for me, would you?
Hello, I'm Dr. Clark.
Hello.
Hello,
Which one of you is Alexandra?
I am.
I'm Rita.
Before we begin, do you have any questions or concerns about the work we're going to do here?
I have questions.
I have concerns.
We like to distribute responsibilities.
Can we jump to my concern?
Of course.
I'm not comfortable doing this with a male, as a therapist.
I know you'd prefer we work with a female therapist.
Yes, I would prefer to be working with a female therapist who at least has an idea what it is to be on the receiving end of.
Well, there wasn't one available right away.
Let's start simple. Alexandra, why did you make the appointment?
Because she screamed at me, "You don't listen to me! Make an appointment!"
You said I was too much.
What?
What do you mean, what? You said I was too much.
I had just spent the morning reassuring the playwright. Maybe I did say that.
You did.
I'm sorry.
Okay, good. So let's talk about how we talk to each other. Alexandra, when you told Marguerite she was too much, is it possible that what you meant to express was not that she's too much, but that you were feeling a little overwhelmed by her needs, combined with the weight of your own unprocessed stuff?
Ooh, Doc. Whoa, that was smarmy. Kind of coats me in a film.
Alex, that was rude.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. If you'd rather skip the workshop stuff and dive right in, we can do that too. How's your sex life?
We're not that kind of couple.
Oh, you're not? I'm sorry. This is the first time I've ever had a couple come in for couples counseling who were not that kind of couple.
You assumed.
You made an ass of you and me.
Well, mainly just me, I think.
Oh, you're the doctor, Doc. I'm not going to argue. We're both married. We have husbands.
We're bound by fate or bad decisions. Your choice.
Excuse me. Best decisions I ever made.
We built a theater together. Sort of.
Oh, what do you mean, sort of?
What?
We only sort of did that together?
I meant we sort of built a theater. We never hired contractors or designed a proscenium.
Right. Yeah, I was prickly there. Sorry. We've worked as a team. The titles are just titles.
You know that's true, right? That's always been true.
I do.
Because I can't keep being who I was at 30. I can't keep being on top of it the way I was. It's not just age. I know you want me to be who I was when we started the thing.
Oh, I very much do not want her back in our lives.
Fine. But now I'm losing my grip.
Well, we knew this was going to happen. Right? Remember?
And every time she points out a mistake, I feel abandoned.
Rita.
And now she wants to leave.
No, I said I would have to leave if you kept losing your shit.
It can't be cured with ultimatums. God damn it, Alex, why can't you hear me? I'm sorry. I know how I am. I'm Cassandra. I hear myself screaming. I know how crazy I sound.
You don't sound crazy at all.
Wait a minute, Doc. Rita, you can't tell me this is the Parkinson's. You exploded at the...
Must we dive into ancient history?
We were pitching for funding.
He was a condescending prick.
You were heating up way before we stepped onto that elevator.
It showed him who we are, our passion. You went back and fixed it. It's fine.
I didn't realize that it was my job description to follow you around, put out your fires, and wipe your butt. I'm sorry.
That was the shittiest thing you've ever said to me.
I'm sorry.
Excuse me. Did you say Parkinson's?
Well, she couldn't hit the note.
I went for an F sharp and it just wasn't there.
After being there for 50 plus years.
That's when I had her set up the appointment. Shit. I did that, didn't I?
Marguerite, why did you demand that Alexandra set up the appointment?
I was pretty sure at that moment that it was something bad. Parkinson's or brain cancer. MS or something. It was a way of keeping her in the loop without making it a big deal. Also, I hate talking on the phone.
Not that, Doctor. I meant today's appointment. Why did you demand that she set up today's appointment?
There's something I need to say.
Okay.
We're listening. You keep saying I don't listen. I'm here. I'm listening.
I don't know.
Take your time.
No, I mean, I know there's something I need to say and have to say it before it's gone.
So say it.
I don't remember.
What time was it when you said she had to make an appointment?
Dinner time, wasn't it?
You may have been sundowning.
I told you it gets bad later in the day.
Right.
I had just remembered that there was something I had to say. Oh, something I needed a therapist to say.
I didn't realize how bad it was getting.
I told you, you don't listen.
I don't always hear.
Before we move on, we need to address this conflict.
She doesn't do conflict.
I don't do conflict.
Okay, then let's come at it from a different direction.
Oh,
What is worth saving in your relationship?
when we are good, we are very, very good.
And when we are bad, we are still better than most at their worst.
We used to laugh.
And imagine things together. We made art together
Nothing we wanted to do was impossible.
because we trusted each other and embraced the power of limitations.
And we've had so many limitations.
$25 to put on a whole production.
And still, we made magic. But now,
She takes everything personally.
I can't help it. I'm a person.
You know I never intend to attack you, right?
When you scream at me about things I did 1,000 years ago,
I want you to understand my memory. Do you get that?
all of your memories make me out to be an asshole.
I know.
And
I'm sorry.
you won't let me fix it.
I don't want you to try and fix it. I want to be understood. If you're trying to fix it, you haven't been listening. It starts with me trying to reach you, to get to you, and then I'm just lying there again, alone and cold and drenched in urine.
Sorry. Context?
Shit.
Alexandra, do you know what she's talking about?
Yes,
It's not germane.
she was raped by 3 boys when she was 4.
Holy hell.
What? He's a therapist. He hears this stuff all day.
It's not your story to tell.
Okay, well, do you want to tell it?
No, I don't. If I wanted to talk about it, I'd be talking about it. He hears that stuff all day long. He doesn't need to hear my version.
I strongly suspect this is pertinent to our work here. Do you think you might just sketch in the details for me?
She was in her new pink plaid shorts outfit.
Stop. I can do it.
Okay,
I was in my new pink plaid shorts outfit, a gift from my aunt. My mother put me in blue, always blue. My sister wore pink. But my aunt didn't know the rules. I ran up and down the street showing off, and my new white cats, oh, they were so white, so clean. Still needed someone to tie them for me. The bike was on its side. A long one, tandem, 4 seats. No kickstand. The ground was cold and wet. I tried to scream, but it came out thin, like in a dream. Useless.
4 years old.
They laughed. One held me down, so angry Then they... fingers, sticks. I tried to be smaller than I was, and then it was warm, soothing like bathwater. Until I realized they were pissing on me.
I still fucking hate them.
I found my shorts under a bush. Filthy. Wet. My new Keds were ruined. I found my way back to my grandmother's house. She met me at the door, yanked my arm, spanked me. I tried to tell her what happened, and she slapped my face. Dumped me in the bathtub. The water was muddy. Blood mixed with dirt. Swirled down the drain. She yelled at me for leaving a ring in the tub.
He held on to this all alone until years later.
I tried to tell my mother when I was 30, but she wouldn't hear it. My sister did remember, though. That helped. Until then, I was an appendix about to burst.
She still is.
We're all carrying our shit, Alex. She was raped by her father when she was 7.
It's not a competition.
I'm not competing. I'm giving him context. It's not like you don't have your triggers, too. We're in this together, revealing everything so we can get to the truth.
Until I was 17, I thought everybody's father did that.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's stay with this for a moment.
I thought it was a rite of passage that we all just didn't talk about. 17. Marguerite told me that her dad didn't come into her room at night and wondered why I would think that.
I was gobsmacked.
I was looking for some sugar pops.
Her father pretended to misunderstand.
Lying there with a huge erection. Sure, I'll give you a little sugar. Didn't make any sense. I was 7. I never called him Pops, but he told me to lick it. He said, "This is what women do. Mommy does it. Don't you want to be like Mommy?" I could still smell it. And when he pushed it in, he said, "This is how we made you." Well, so when it was over, I tried to pee so that I wouldn't be pregnant.
She was 7.
Because if I was pregnant, my mommy would certainly know what I'd done. And he had said very clearly, "If your mother finds out, I'll kill you."
So she never said anything until she was 12. Because her godfather did it, too.
That's what I was born for. I'm just a hole
for old men.
Do you think it's fair to say that you hold one another's stories?
I definitely hold hers.
Wow. Whew, we've been talking about this stuff for a lifetime. We know all the details.
Not all.
Of course not all, but you know what I mean.
Marguerite,
Yes?
what do you need to say?
I don't remember.
Well, from what I'm hearing, there's a lot of love here and a lot of reasons to keep this relationship working.
I need too much. I expect too much. Nobody really keeps promises, right? People say things and then circumstances change.
And Dr. Clark, I will bet you doodads to ding-dongs that this is going to be about me breaking a promise.
When I was in the worst of it.
And when you told me to make an appointment.
What? No! Trojan Women Dress Rehearsal. After you said you would take the technical stuff off my plate, you told me you were going to check on me every day I got lost.
You got lost?
I did. I drove out of a parking lot and I had no idea where I was. Or even who I was or what anything was. I was gone.
I was checking on you. You said they fixed your meds and you were in remission.
Remission?
Yeah. They adjusted my meds and put me on a diet. I'll tell you though, if I had to give up coffee, I'd kill myself.
That's a joke.
Oh, for the love of God!
Oh, seriously? You might need to make a phone call or something.
No, I don't believe either of you to be a danger to yourself or others.
I'm not so sure. Oh, I feel like I'm hurting her all the time. I feel like I'm a constant danger, and I don't know what I do wrong.
How can this be so hard? After all these eons, I expect you to know where I'm coming from.
Well, that is not fair to me, and I don't ask that of you.
I swear you used to always know where I was coming from, but now you shut down and I'm alone.
When you yell, I can't talk.
When you don't talk, I feel abandoned.
So her trauma response traumatizes you.
Exactly. And my trauma response traumatized her first.
I'm afraid if I don't correctly guess the thing you're not saying, you'll scream betrayal. I don't mean to keep re-traumatizing you. I know you don't mean to do it to me, but we cannot get our work done with this insanity.
You're both waiting to be hurt. You brace for impact.
Wait. I had no idea that you were in the worst of it.
I was hanging on by the skin of my areolas.
During Trojan Women? I had no idea. This is what I mean. You never seem vulnerable.
I told you I was struggling. I was barely functioning. You didn't check on me.
Oh, you never seem like you're struggling. You're unstoppable.
And then I felt infantilized when in front of everyone.
Infantilized? I have never infantilized you. Worshipped, adored, tiptoed around, cowered from, stood in awe of, and cried over. But never in the history of ever have I thought of you as anything but an enormous, massive force of nature.
I said I felt infantilized. You said it in front of everyone that I should just edit in the PDF. Like I didn't know that. But I don't have Adobe, as I've told you 1,000 times, and I was confused by your tone. It felt admonishing.
I'm sorry.
You were bitch-splaining.
I was curt. I was multitasking, but I wasn't angry. I was trying to be.
When you insist that I'm forgetting things,
You have been forgetting things. You told me to keep an eye on it.
you dig in your heels. You tell me I'm doing things wrong.
Doing things wrong. Oh. Well, I'm not going to let that sit there. No, I'll need evidence that I have ever said you are doing things wrong. You can't find any. It never happened. You invented that to make your case.
There it is.
Then what is?
The literalism. It's a kind of gaslighting.
Gaslighting? What do I gain from making you feel crazy?
I didn't say you did it. I said it's how I felt.
Okay. Everybody breathe.
You heard it though, right? I'm not making this up.
Did you bring me into therapy so you can have a witness to my cruelty? Mm-hmm. Because if you only wanted me to make this appointment so we could play a recrimination game,
Please stop this.
I have no interest in joining you for a litany of ancient grievances.
I need you to hear me. Please. Like when we were in the hall. Please.
Yeah, exactly like that. Yes. We're talking about something, and then suddenly I'm trying to defend myself for something you took the wrong way when I'm just trying to do my fucking job.
No, you were being so intense. Like now. going all over the place, and I didn't know what you needed or wanted or expected me to do.
I was trying to tell you.
And I kept saying, stop, please stop.
No, you kept saying, I don't understand. I was trying to explain.
Please stop.
Rita,
Alex,
what?
stop.
I get overwhelmed, Alex. I told you. I said, remission isn't all better.
You're right. You did.
My place is a mess. I haven't been able to.
That's why you wanted me to come over? To help you clean?
Dr. Clark, I'm not exaggerating. Imagine if a hurricane hit a thrift store.
I'm sorry I didn't come over. I didn't check in.
Is there a reason you didn't check in with Marguerite?
I don't have a reason. I don't have an excuse. Sometimes it's a lot. She's a lot. And I didn't think this crisis was different from any other.
Because I'm a big old fire starter.
No, more of a firefighter. There's always a fire, but you always get through.
This is different.
I see that now.
I don't need a superhero. I just need you to notice when I'm drowning. She doesn't notice.
I'm really trying to be here for you, Marguerite. But I get tired of being your villain. I keep track of your schedule. I keep track of the books. I keep track of the ticket sales. I keep track of everything I can. I'm sorry if I haven't been a good witness.
I don't need a fucking witness. I need you to be in it with me.
Well, I can't. I don't know what you're going through. I can't go get Parkinson's to make you feel less alone. I can't be everything for you. I'm here, but I'm not a mind reader.
I'm not asking you to read my mind. I told you directly. I'm asking you to remember the fucking things that I actually tell you. You knew everything that was happening with me. Everything. My husband doesn't know I peed in the dining room.
Oh, honey, I'm sorry that I didn't take that more seriously. To me, it was just more like I bled through my jeans when we were in high school. I didn't really hear help. It just seemed like such a minor thing.
Minor thing?
Oh, I hear now that it was very upsetting to you.
I don't want you to hear now. I want you to hear when I'm telling you. You don't hear me and you don't remember.
Is that true, Alex?
Maybe. I mean, there have been times.
A lot of times.
We have been in the same room, ostensibly having the same experience, and I honestly don't remember it the same way that she does.
That sounds like a trauma response.
It is terrifying to have someone tell you a story about yourself that you don't remember.
She remembers things that affect her.
I'm not being selective. I'm missing whole chunks of my own story.
I hold all of your stories, all your triggers and troubles, and when you don't hold mine, it erases me.
Oh, tell me what you want me to do.
I need you to remember I'm in a place in the woods, raped, assaulted, and covered in urine.
Oh, and I am a 7-year-old with her father's penis in her mouth.
It's not a competition. Look, I need you to take over for me. I'm barely hanging on.
That is ridiculous.
You know it's getting hard for me to retain information.
As long as you write everything down when you think of it, well, you do just fine.
Stop it! Stop Stop lying! Stop! You know this! Don't leave me alone in this, you fucking cunt! Radio silence.
Alex,
I don't have words.
there's a lot of pain here for both of you. Marguerite,
Sorry, I was.
Rita?
you were what, Marguerite?
We're. Wait,
Marguerite, do you remember the conversation you were just having?
I was distracted. Sorry, we were.
You called me a fucking cunt.
Well, surely I didn't.
Rita?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry for it. Whatever it was. Shit.
You're sundowning. You get fatigued and overwhelmed. It's all right. This happens with dementia. Alexandra, we might want to schedule these sessions for earlier in the day.
Dementia. Fuck me running uphill.
Oh, I know, Rita, I know. No, this doesn't change who you are.
Yeah, I have,
This is happening more often. I don't know how to help her.
I know it's hard to see. Trauma and dementia are mutually triggering. They inform one another.
Should I talk to her when this happens or just shut up?
Let her move through it. Forcing her out could confuse her more. You're here. She knows, even if she can't show it right now.
Is this something we can fix?
We may be able to understand it. Understanding brings its own kind of relief for both of you.
She'd be embarrassed if she knew we were watching, Doc.
What are you thinking about, Marguerite?
I'm thinking about what we're talking about.
What's that?
The bike. On the ground. To my left.
The long one. The tandem bike?
Yeah. The wheels turned for a while. Then they stopped. I was thinking about how scary it gets when the wheels stop turning.
Jesus.
What?
That's dark.
What did I say?
When the circus came to town, all the clowns were tumbling down. The tigers roared, the lions looked bored, and the man in back yelled,
Peanuts, lemonade, popcorn, Cracker Jack a prize in each and every pack.
oh, the monkey got away, grabbed the man by his toupee. The old folks smiled, the kids went wild, and the man in back yelled,
Peanuts, lemonade, popcorn, Cracker Jack a prize in each and every pack. Peanuts, lemonade, popcorn, Cracker Jack a prize in each and every pack.
Come one, come all, be jolly and gay. There's lots of fun down the great midway. Hooray! Hurry, hurry, step this way.
All right, young fellas, if you feel strong, pick up the hammer, hit the gong. Everybody tries it, give it a whirl. You might win candy for your girl.
Hey there, mister, I'm right this time.
All right, Sonny.
Well, my goodness, this case has last chapter written all over it. Possible chapter titles. When the wheels stop turning. I have questions. I have concerns. Until I was 17, I thought everybody's father did that. And my personal favorite, hanging on by the skin of my areolas. Areola, whatever, it doesn't matter. These are all too long and too recognizable. Damn, it's going to hurt to fictionalize this one. The details are fantastic. The warm, pleasant feeling of being pissed on afterwards. Holy shit. Can't use it, though. And there's no way these two will ever sign a release, not with their trust issues. I'm not even going to ask. So, fictional composites, they shall be. Okay, Alexandra's up first for a one-on-one with Marguerite following. I don't know who's making an ass out of who here, but I think I was right about these two. They have some strong undercurrents. For a business relationship, it's bizarrely tender and intimate. It's more loving than most of the marriages I see in this office. They claim there's no romantic element at work here, but I'm not so sure. Maybe that's the thing that Marguerite needs to say. That'd be a sweet ending. After 55 years of making art together and carrying each other's emotional baggage, has Marguerite finally decided to make a declaration of love?
Recording ended.
Thanks for coming early, Alex.
I don't know if I feel comfortable talking about Marguerite behind her back.
Not to worry, we're going to talk about you.
Oh, dear. That's even worse, Dr. Clark.
Who? Whole first session I was Doc.
You prefer that?
What changed?
She demanded that I stop. I was being disrespectful to you. I was trying to pick a fight with you. I was trying to pick a fight with her. I wasn't taking the process seriously. I was wasting our time and my money.
Your money. You're paying for these sessions that she demanded?
My insurance. And I pay the deductible, so yeah. I'm not really sure she knows how insurance works or deductibles. I think through her husband, she's covered for, I don't know. I keep thinking I should have had the theater take out a policy on her against catastrophic illness, because without her, is it even a thing? Well, without the theater to run, who am I? Now, I don't mean to say that like I run the thing. She runs the thing, obviously. It's her thing. I just, run the thing. Yeah, I really didn't understand how badly it was getting to her. The illness, the disease. Well, it's in remission, but now I'm not sure what that means. I think it plateaus. And now for the last few months, I've been running the thing and keeping her from fucking things up. And also, oh, shit. Sorry.
Say it.
Oh,
Say it.
making it look to her like she was running things.
Ah.
But I don't resent her for that. I didn't even know that until just now. Shit. Oh, crap. She's not getting better, is she? This is the thing that's happening to her. Oh, Rita. Am I an awful, awful friend?
I don't think so. Why would you think you're an awful friend?
I hear my best friend has a terrible diagnosis, and I go into denial to save her the trouble? Although, in fairness to me, it wasn't just her life that flashed before my eyes. I do have my own concerns. I'm not entirely in her thrall. In awe, for sure. Enamored, but we made a pact a long time ago. She would hate my father for me, and my godfather. So I didn't have to carry that home with me every day. She would hate the people who hurt me, and I would hate the boys who raped her, so she could just let that go. We've been carrying one another's burdens so long, it turns into a habit. We accommodate. We protect each other. Doc, can I call you Doc?
You can call me Doc.
On the day we buried my father, after he died,
I presumed.
she was with me. She came with me. When she saw my godfather, she glared at him for me. She drove me home, and I went to take a shower. She sat down on the closed toilet right next to me. She stayed with me while I washed and sat on the floor of the tub and washed. She kept asking if I was crying yet. She asked if I wanted her to cry on my behalf.
Did you ever?
Well, not until many, many years later. Many years later. I was abruptly overwhelmed with grief, and I asked her to cry on my behalf.
Funny.
She does hold my stuff, but when she yells or swears at me, I just don't want to hold anything anymore.
Well, I heard that you don't do conflict.
Oh, I don't. I am conflict avoidant. I'm flight. She's fight. She fights, I flee. I flee. She feels abandoned. Oh, we know this. We've analyzed it to death.
Why do you think you've stayed locked in this dance?
Dr. Clark, this ain't my first bat mitzvah. You know that I've been hit. You know that I'm conflict avoidant because I've been hit and raped and shamed. You know that my body perceives danger differently from my mind. And when I'm confronted, I go lizard brain. It's textbook. It is textbook. I disassociate. I shut down. I lose words, forget bits of conversations, or entire decades. My conflict recovery can take 3 days. No shit. 3 days for my body to forget the fear if someone yells at me. Oh, seriously. We both done the work. So much work. All the work, all the time.
So you know what's wrong. Why do you need me?
Because something deeper is wrong, and she won't tell me. I don't know. We've been joined at the hip for 55 years. Known each other a lifetime. We fell out once, and I felt disemboweled. We're family.
Family, that's always healthy.
What?
Fathers, godfathers.
Jesus, stop. Are you trying to talk me out of loving her?
Not at all. I'm trying to pinpoint the specific trauma that gets triggered in you. If the way she communicates reminds you of your father?
My father was very sick, and he never showed me half the love Marguerite has. The last thing he said to me was, "I'm sorry you were ever born, bitch." And my godfather smelled blood in the water.
Where was your mother in all of this?
Traumatized. I was a handful as a child, emotionally unstable.
Acting out because of the trauma.
But she didn't know what the hell was going on. And then she did, but she still... Ha. The human capacity for repression, right? I was probably lying for attention, right? That's so much easier than listening to me and maybe solving all the other problems. Easier to decide I was a liar than to admit that her husband was a rapist, that she was negligent, culpable.
And traumatized.
Well, we're all traumatized. If you stand in a room with 10 people, 9 of them have been inappropriately touched. It's just the shame we give to the thing. It's not our fault. And then we're sick, unless we do the work. And Well, children can't do the work without hardcore guidance and support. Oh, we're at the mercy of our traumatized parents who pretend not to believe us.
But Marguerite believed you. She understood.
Yeah, always. When we were kids, we went to have spats. I followed her around. She ran all the games in the neighborhood. We all had to play her way. But she was so exciting. She could sing and dance. She was gorgeous. She was hilarious and, oh, she was fearless. To have her say I was her best friend was the greatest feeling. I was a weird little kid.
Hmm.
Only she and my husband get my weirdness.
This is really the first time you've mentioned him.
Yes.
Also abused?
Not sexually or physically. He would have told me when I told him about me.
So he knows.
Well, everyone knows. It's the first thing I say when I meet someone.
Really?
Oh, yes, Doc, really. It's my opening bit when I have to do the curtain speech about not-for-profits and the value of the arts. That was a joke.
Sorry, you can be very dry.
Like a rye crisp. I'm pretty forthright about it.
It's a big part of your identity.
Which identity? That's also a joke. But to be fair, I have a mild case of DID.
Dissociative identity disorder?
Yes.
A mild case.
Well, it's not 3 Faces of Eve. I don't become someone else and black out in bars.
Okay. Professionally diagnosed?
I did grief and trauma work when my mom passed. And that's when I was diagnosed, and that's when my whole life made total sense. I do switch to let myself hide when I'm uncomfortable or perceive danger and I can't escape. I fall into personas or alters that do the work for me. They're usually funny voices, which works in theater. People just think you're being theatrical.
Is this Alex right now, an alter?
No, I'm not uncomfortable right now, but I might be. And then you'll know. It's best if you know when I'm hurt or afraid I might be hurt. I either freeze and can't talk, or I use a different person to talk for me. It's got to be very fluid. If I use all of them, I can turn into a hilarious Robin Williams sketch.
How many of these alters are you working with?
Well, I use Uncle Bob's voice when I need the safety of a father figure. Yep. He was the only safe man in my life until I met my husband. I use him to talk to older men, car salesmen or contractors, or to do my taxes. Man junk.
What about your brother? He wasn't a safe man in your life?
Oh, Adam, I don't have an altar based on him. He's much older and cooler. He ran all the boys when we were kids. He was like Rita. Everyone wanted to be with him. But he would get people into trouble. He would come up with these schemes and rope all of us into them. And when we'd get caught, we always got caught. He was nowhere to be found. So, safe? Not really. I adore him. He makes me laugh, and, he can do no wrong. But I was always seeking his love. like every other man. He was always just out of reach. God, he loved Rita, though. Showed off. Yeah, I had a nickname for her. Uh, I envied her for that, you know? I wanted all his attention all the time. She was downright nasty to him.
Huh. Interesting. So, Uncle Bob for man junk.
Yes. There's a mother persona that I use with women.
Mhm.
She's warm, but firm. Many of my girlfriends need her. I bring her out to help them with things that seem so obvious to me. Relationships you should not be in. Jobs you should not do. Children you must not ruin. She will tell you you're fucking up without hurting you. And, oh, then there's Cornelius. He's 7. I get to be a child without fear with him. He's a boy. Because I perceive boys to be safe from the worst of it. He just says what is so. I can't ever do that on my own. I told my last therapist that he was my favorite person on earth. And she said, he's you. Well, that was a mindfuck. I am not my favorite person by a long shot.
When does he come up?
I use him when I feel like someone will be mad at me. He will emerge to placate any assailant. De-escalate the situation. It's against the law of physics to deflect me.
So, these aren't destructive characters, they're helpful.
Oh, they're friends my brain created to save me. It's really not a disorder. It's a miracle. DID. It should stand for Delightful Improvisational Departures. I will never disparage these personas. I needed them. I need them. So, you know, we're not here to cure me of that, if that's what you were thinking.
No.
Okay, just so we're clear. And they're not pertinent here anyway. I don't use them with Marguerite. Well, she's seen them, you know, when I'm talking to people about things or, at that stupid pitch session before she went ballistic. I mean, she just thinks it's part of my shtick.
So there is something you haven't fully revealed to Marguerite about yourself.
What? The false fronts I put on for people I don't trust? Well, even in the midst of all this, I trust her.
You haven't introduced her to your favorite person in the world.
She knows him as a character.
Do you know why you've kept this secret?
They keep me safe. They protect me, all of them.
And you protect them. You wouldn't think of letting me cure you of them.
Yes, exactly. 30 years ago, she sent me a letter. It was a vitriolic attack, just eviscerating me. She listed all the wrongs I had committed against her, every goddamn one. From the time we were children up until the morning she wrote the letter. It's in my desk now.
You kept it?
She kept it. I sent it back with notes.
Like editorial fixes?
Line-by-line responses, defense, explanation. And we didn't communicate for 15 years.
And that's when you felt disemboweled?
Entirely. We made up 15 years ago, but a few weeks ago, she mailed it to me again.
Why?
To remind me. To give her pain evidence? I don't know. But what she doesn't know, what I have realized, was that the person she wrote the letter to, that person had been my front altar since I was 11, since my godfather. When I took on this altar, even she didn't notice that I wasn't the same person. It was one of the thousands of small abandonments.
Thousands.
Oh, millions, maybe. Oh, when I read the letter, I realized how I had just left Rita in the dust. There were all these times when she was experiencing trauma, and I didn't even notice. I was too focused on me to notice. I was myopic. I was deaf to her needs. I didn't stand up for her. I wasn't loyal. I stole her friends and slept with her boyfriends. I was this self-serving. She was self-serving, this persona. I say she to let myself off the hook. This persona was me, but she wasn't me. I didn't have a me. She was necessary, though. She had a superpower.
And that was?
She could fuck. She would fuck when others wouldn't. She was anything you wanted her to be and would do anything you wanted her to do. She wouldn't tell. She wouldn't judge. She was just there for you. But in return, she expected love.
Did she get love?
Never. So she chased love. It was an addiction, the chasing of love. She became an expert muse, an expert mistress, an expert chameleon. She was a master, but never a love.
Sexual abuse frequently translates into hypersexuality. You wanted to take the power back.
I couldn't. She did. Sometimes she took the power from people who didn't deserve it because she wanted to be loved. I wanted to be loved. I wanted someone to see the real me and decide that she was it for him. There was no real me. And there were hundreds of hims. Oh, the one that spit on me during sex and thought that was funny. The one that pushed my face into his crotch and said, "Be a good girl." The one that wore a full body latex suit so that he wouldn't get dirty. The one who told all his friends I would take it up the ass. There were dozens of men who revealed at the last minute, when it was too late, that they thought she was a blow-up doll because she basically was. I thought they wanted a fantasy, but ultimately people want people, not personas. So I got rid of her the last time I was raped.
The last time?
Yes. I haven't been raped in 20 years. I used to be raped on the regular. She would put herself in situations, dangerous situations she thought she could handle, but the last time, the time he just tore through my tights, he saw me crying but didn't stop. That mother persona kicked her out of me, rose up and said, "Never again." When she was really gone, that sexy me, that super-powered harlot, I didn't know how to actually be me, bring me forth and live as me. I am still figuring out me emotionally. Emotionally, I'm 20 years old. And sometimes I'm 7.
So, you insisted originally that Alexandra set up our first appointment. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it kind of. Yes.
Because there was something you wanted to say, something you couldn't say.
If that's what she said, I probably said it. She remembers what I say when it's about her.
Do you know what you wanted to say?
I feel like there's too much.
Too much to say to Alex?
Just too much stuff. History, violence, anger. I love her so much. Why can't I just let go of things? Just not even her fault, some of them. I know that. And I don't want to wear her down to the point that she has to walk away. After 15 years of estrangement, when I reached out to her, she didn't hesitate to welcome me back. I don't deserve such grace. My kids all adore her. Once she and I had a fight, and she left after staying over the weekend, or whatever it was. I didn't say goodbye, but all 3 of my kids ran out to say goodbye to her before she drove away.
It sounds like a pattern. You gave the best of yourself, including your children, after the worst had exploded all over the place.
Oh, hell, yes. Oh, I just don't have the energy anymore. Just thinking about it exhausts me. I can't keep trying to fix things with my kids. I wanted them to have everything. Freedom, joy, magic, all the things I didn't have as a child. And for a while they did. There was so much laughter in our house, so much life. I baked bread, made big pots of spaghetti. We hiked, camped, played in the woods. I put them in my workshops, let them run wild. Our house was the hub, a free zone where kids could just be. No rules, just childhood. And they loved it. All the kids in the neighborhood were there, always. That was my gift to them. But for all the light, there were shadows. I gave them pieces of me I shouldn't have. I let them see things they shouldn't have to see. My marriages, 7 of them, 5 men, spun their world in and out of chaos. My eldest had a father who wasn't his father, but he had a family, a name. My youngest got things her brothers didn't, a house, cars. But still, she carries a grudge. I wanted them to know me, really know me. I thought honesty would bring us closer, so I told them everything. But it was too much. They saw my messes, my loves, my heartbreaks. They grew up in a world where I was still trying to figure myself out while trying to raise them at the same time. I gave them all of me, thinking that meant I was giving them themselves. But it was too much. They're all successful now in their own ways, but they don't call much. I tell myself it's okay, they're busy, that it's enough just to know I got them there. But when the silence stretches too long, when I'm lucky to get a text on my birthday, it hurts. Bad. And I fight the feeling that it's my fault, that I gave too much and not enough. That all the magic and chaos left them scarred. I wish they could feel what this is like. This quiet, This waiting, this wondering if I'm just an old bother now. But I don't blame them. How could I? Every crack in our story, every fault line, I put there. I've always known that. And I have to live with it.
Well, what strikes me, Marguerite, is how deeply you've lived every part of your story. How much of yourself you've poured into the people you love. Even when it's been messy, even when it's hurt, you carry all these moments, the laughter, the light, the chaos, the heartbreak, like they're etched into your bones. And Alex sees all of it and stays. She welcomes you back with grace, as you said. But I wonder if that grace, the way she holds space for you, is also what makes it so hard to tell her certain things. We're here, Marguerite, because there's something you've kept from her, something important. What's stopping you from telling her now?
I need her to see that I can't keep being the head of the company. It's ridiculous. I can't do it, obviously. I don't know what the deal is, but she won't admit that I'm not doing it, and I'm never going to be able to do it again. I need her to hear me and step up right now, and I don't know how she can't see that. Then I get angry and perseverate. I just cycle through it, and then you said, and then I said, and then you said.
And if you could, you would say...
Exactly. But you can't, can you? I tried to have sex with my little brother when I was 13. I didn't coerce him or try to force him in any way. He said, I don't think Mummy would want me to do that. And that was the end of it. He was 5. I've wanted to apologize to him about that since I suddenly remembered it when I was about 30. But I've never had the guts to say anything. Part of me hopes he's forgotten it. But I'm sure he hasn't.
You weren't born broken. What happened to you cracked to the ground beneath your feet before you could even tie your shoes. And when you reached out, not to hurt, not to take, but to understand, you listened. The moment he hesitated, you stopped. That wasn't darkness. That was a child lost in the wreckage, trying to survive the storm.
Are we allowed to carry personal baggage when we cross the River Styx?
I think there's an extra fee.
Oh. I've had this recurring dream lately. I'm standing in the River Styx. The ferryman holds out his hands, but my pockets are empty. I go back to Cerberus and ask if he saw my purse when I passed. And all 3 of his heads just look at me. Those big, sad puppy dog eyes. So I go back to the ferryman and explain I had coins. I know I did, but somehow I lost them. And he shakes his head sadly. And I realize I can't cross. My memories were supposed to be my toll. But they're gone. I'm stuck on the wrong side.
Maybe it's not about the coins. Maybe it's about the willingness to step onto the boat.
I'm afraid of what I'll leave behind. and of what's waiting for me on the other side.
You're not alone, Marguerite.
I can feel myself slipping away more every day.
Why don't you tell me about your relationship with Alex? How would you frame that for me?
Good. Where do I start? When we were kids, she came over and asked if I could play. She was the most miraculous thing I'd ever seen. Eyes like divining pools. I was instantly enchanted. She's not just smart. Lots of people are smart, but she sculpts language around insight. She talks about the grocery list, you hear poetry. When we're working, really working, she'll point out some small detail, some glimmer in a moment that I wouldn't have caught. She notices things I miss, connections I'd never think of. She can take the most chaotic idea and make sense of it like she's organizing light into a rainbow. She's a prism. Her laughter catches you off guard, makes you stop what you're doing just to listen. It's like music you thought you'd forgotten. She doesn't laugh as much as she used to. She takes my outbursts so personally these days. She used to be more philosophical about them and shake them off. But they weren't directed at her. Nowadays, I want her to know, really know, how much I love her. I don't think I've ever said it. Right.
Was that what you needed to get her into a room with me to say, do you think?
Oh, God, no. That was... Oh.
What? What happened there?
I overwhelm her. I'm not the only one who sees her as a superstar, miracle, essential element. I can't lean on her the way I do. It isn't fair to her. But my husband doesn't understand. He's the walking wounded in his own way. Alcoholic son of an alcoholic father who died of cirrhosis when he was only 66.
Stop.
Dave has absolutely no capacity for listening,
Marguerite.
hearing, or responding to my traumatic history.
Marguerite.
I am far beyond looking for a soulmate in a man. I am really over all that stuff. Romance, whatever. It all used to be so important to me, but I honestly...
Marguerite, stop talking.
Are therapists allowed to say that?
We are when we're working under a deadline, yes. What did you want to say that required Alex to set up our first appointment?
I forgot.
No, you didn't. You're babbling in the hopes that I'll believe you forgot, but we don't have time for your self-protective bullshit right now. You're fading into a fog. You're about to leave your lifelong best friend behind with a theater to run, a shit ton of regret and remorse and self-loathing, and now a heartbreaking little mystery because you told her there's something you needed therapy to say. And I don't care how worried you are about fracturing your fragile, brittle, prickly shell. Eventually, you will succumb to that lost on the way home confusion. And I don't believe for a heartbeat that you want to leave Alex knowing there was something you could not say to her.
Memories are heavy. But how do I cross the river when my pockets are empty?
Do you really think Alex would let you face that crossing alone?
That's what scares me most. She'd try to follow me, but it's not an option. I've got to step on the boat by myself or I'll get stuck down there and be a ghost or something.
Okay, and you insist that memories are your toll.
What else is there at the end? But now it feels like too much. I promised to hate her father for her. And then she turned it into a reciprocal arrangement and I felt awful about it. I didn't want to hate a member of her own family, someone she couldn't help loving, so I said, but then she said, and nobody should have to carry anger like mine.
Speaking of anger, Alex said that you were downright nasty to her brother.
I hate that prick.
She says he can do no wrong.
She's delusional.
The thing you need to tell her, did you need to have me there for you or for her?
God, I don't want to forget her, Doctor. I'd give the ferryman my whole life just to keep the memories of her.
Can you tell me what would happen if you said this thing to her?
She would hate me. Or she would call me a liar. That's not impossible. Did she tell you about the letter?
She did.
I tried so hard to tell her in that letter.
She said it was a vitriolic attack.
Yeah, well, I might not have been clear in my intent.
Marguerite, it has become very clear over our brief acquaintanceship that Alex genuinely loves you. Why don't you think you can trust her with this?
It would break her. It would break us. She can't look at me and hear things the way she does with regular people. I don't know why. With me, she always has to be this balls out, solve it all bastion of impermeable intellect. I've seen her with people when they're sad or just going off track or whatever. She'll sit with them and take one of their hands in hers, and she just, it's magical. She transforms into the archetype of the mother, the great mother, loving and supportive, and exactly what they need right then. Or if there's a cast party and I don't know what to say to the crew and all the families and whatever, and I'll glance over and she's just turned into the fucking genie from Aladdin. She's getting laughs and doing voices. She's never like that with me. Never.
Why do you imagine that is?
I guess she's not comfortable being her real self with me. I've tried to get her to relax and be that way with me, but God, the things I said in that letter.
When you wanted her to see what you were unable to say, that you loved her,
I tell her I love her all the time.
that you were in love with her.
Jesus, fuck no! Oh, you're an idiot!
Well, I've noticed a pattern in this work. When the patient calls me an idiot, we're usually very close to a breakthrough.
Oh, we really should have waited for a female therapist.
I don't use dream analysis much because, in my experience, it rarely yields anything useful, but once in a very great while, you do get a pretty clear message. Last night, I had one of the most pleasant dreams I've ever had in my life. No stress, no drama, no one I recognized, no words were spoken. I don't even remember having any thoughts in this dream, just a serene feeling of well-being. Smile on my face, wind in my hair, riding along at the back end of a very long tandem bicycle. Jesus, what am I doing? I absolutely should have referred them to a female therapist. They both expressed a clear preference, and I just ignored it. Acted like I didn't even hear it because I was so hyper-focused on getting what I needed for that fucking book. What am I thinking? I'm not an author. People come to me for help and open up to me, and I exploit them for... It's reprehensible. It's malpractice, is what it is. This is not me. I'm calling Eric tonight, tell him to forget it. I'm out. I'm better than this. God damn it. Plenty of therapists have long, fulfilling careers without ever publishing a word. They keep their attention where it belongs, on the patient. So, Marguerite needs to tell Alexandra the thing before she loses the ability to do it. Her mornings are still sharp. By afternoon, the fog sets in, and we don't know how long even that window will last. Ordinarily, I wouldn't do this, but the process is so incremental, and we are laboring under a crushing urgency, so I just might have to nudge things along.
Recording ended.
What's up, Doc?
Alex,
He said I can call him Doc.
I kind of like it.
fine, call him Doc. Make me look rigid and formal.
Ha! You? Rigid and formal?
The worst team in the history of vaudeville.
Yes, rigid and formal.
Kid jugglers ordinaire.
Their skills were mediocre and they lacked exuberance, panache, fluidity.
Two men in tuxedos juggling baby goats.
Universally panned.
Not to mention the opinion of the goats.
What was the opinion of the goats?
I told you not to mention that.
I guess this concludes the introductory banter. Now it's time to play You Bet Your Life.
You two are in a good mood.
Ask me what my beloved friend did yesterday.
For Christ's sake, that's absurd.
What did your beloved friend do yesterday?
Dishes.
Huh.
She came to my house.
I really didn't understand how bad it had gotten.
The mess overwhelms me, even on nights when I can remember what the hell I'm doing from one second to the next.
I didn't mean the mess.
I know, Alex. I tried so hard to tell you. I needed you to see. I needed you to really see.
I get that. I do.
She came over, and we sat together and we talked for hours, wasn't it?
It was.
We went over some of the stuff for work, and when I got confused, she just talked me through it. And then, when I got tired and couldn't keep it all straight, I trundled off to bed on my own. I could hear her downstairs talking to my husband about God knows what.
Mostly about you.
Sure, why not? I'm endlessly fascinating. I could hear the rattle of the dishes. I don't know why Dave can't help me with that stuff. He used to.
Dave is going through some shit himself right now.
Sure. He doesn't talk to me. He likes to think he protects me.
Well, that's what real men do. Yep. Listen, if you can, you should give Dave some time.
I don't have time, Alex. Please, try to remember.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Marguerite. The theater, me, the kids.
The kids? Oh, Lanford Wilson was right. People are not strong enough to have children. Trees should have children. Fuck them. They hate me, and I can't try anymore.
Oh, they do not hate you. And Dave doesn't hate you. And you don't hate him. While you have the time, choose where it goes, yeah?
Alex, don't make me make that choice.
I'm suggesting you spend time with your husband before inevitably, I mean, eventually.
I know what you mean.
I really, really don't.
I'm sorry. I know I'm ruining the show. Oh, God, it's awful. I can't keep track of a thought. I have too many ideas. Oh, I used to have so many ideas, and I trusted that if I played them out and put them together, they would make sense. I would find a through line, but now even my sentences fall apart before.
No, it's not that bad yet, Rita.
It's 11 a.m. We're not that bad yet is measured in hours. It's that bad.
And you want me to say you're ruining the show? You're not ruining the show. I won't let you ruin the show.
I know. That's the whole problem. How much easier would it be if I weren't screaming at people because I can't find my glasses, leaving you to apologize for me after the fact.
That was me.
What?
It's okay. I didn't need to apologize. I was the one you yelled at when you couldn't find your glasses.
Oh, God.
It's okay.
I feel like everyone was there.
Well, even Jerry in the booth had left. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Everyone understood. Everyone understands.
You are not making things better. Oh, shit. Oh, so you did know how bad it was.
Oh, no. Oh, Rita. Oh, no. Well, I knew, but I didn't. I couldn't see how bad it was getting for you because I was just so busy with...
Shut up! Just please stop! Please!
The play is coming together beautifully. And we'll have everything done. Everything will be fine.
I don't know who's fixing the program.
But we've got it handled. Please, please breathe.
You impossible goddamn... Oh, you had everyone covering my ass.
I was protecting you.
Hate me.
We still need you there.
You clearly don't. Fucking lies and deceit and secrecy. You have no idea how much I hate you right now.
A minute ago, you loved me.
I am large. I contain multitudes. Now fucking say the thing or I am logging off this call.
I thought you were the one who had to say a thing.
There has been a sea change, Dr. Clark. This woman has some difficult words to speak, and if she doesn't do what I am asking right now, I will not only resign my position at the theater, I will take her name off my phone, lock my doors, and ignore her until I am too far gone to remember I'm not talking to her. And by then, I don't think it'll much matter.
Oh, please don't do this.
Truly, Alex, the last thing I want to do is hurt you, but I will click the leave meeting button.
Ah, well, that's good to know, lady.
She just called me lady.
The cranky lady just called me a she.
Oh, my mistake. So, Mr.
Mr. is my father. I'm Cornelius.
Is that right? Little boy? Cornelius, you say?
Then I do say Cornelius, as Cornelius, I am.
You don't say.
I just said.
I see, and I take you to be, let me guess now. 7 years old?
Ooh, whoa, you must have the special powers of a psychic. Have you done the test?
What's the test?
Can people hear you when you're going to the bathroom?
How does that determine whether I'm a psychic, Cornelius?
Everyone knows. For psychic, the P is silent.
Perfect psychotherapist joke. I'm stealing that.
Careful, Doc. The pterodactyls stole it too, and look what happened to them.
And Ptolemy, too.
Who?
Ptolemy, Prince of Egypt.
Cleopatra's kid.
Ah, yet I loved him, Doc. He had mummy issues.
Get it?
Get it?
Oh, mummy issues. Oh.
Okay, let's wrap this up.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Good, you're fun.
See, nobody can hang up on me.
What if we put together an all-improv show? Just you and me. Cornelius can be the headliner for the spring calendar.
But I only get a week off from school in the spring.
Okay. Can you stop it now with that? I'm serious about this.
I don't want to go away right now.
I'm not asking you to go away. Jesus, what are you doing?
Doc, I need her to love me before I go. Does that make sense?
Of course. I love you. What the fuck is the matter with you?
I understand that you feel that need right now, and I think she does genuinely love you right now as you are. But you are here because Marguerite needed to say something, right? Not to fulfill your needs, not right now.
Are you gonna try to?
Please listen and know you are safe right now, okay? Both of you. Now, you brought Marguerite back from the brink of a meltdown and a swift departure. It was beautiful. It was. I think you know, a delightful improvisational departure, okay? But this woman, whom we know you to love, needs something else, right? Her needs, not yours. She needs someone who can listen, comfort, someone stern, maybe, warm but firm, sensible and practical.
Right. Dr. Clark is right.
I don't understand. You know that I love you, right?
I do. And I love you, Rita. I truly do. And I am so sorry it took me so long to show up for you this way. I know what you need.
You do?
You have to step down. You can do it on your own, or you can write a letter, or I can make an announcement. You need a rest. You need to focus on your health. You need to make your actual life a priority. You'll become artistic director emeritus or some bullshit.
Thank you.
Okay. Good. Do you feel better?
As though 1,000-pound weight has been lifted by a scantily dressed pool boy.
Are we done here?
Oh, I don't think so. I hate how much I don't think we're done. How much time do we have? Oh, God.
It's okay. We can run long.
That's not what I meant.
You know I will love you no matter what.
You'll hate me.
I might be able to do both.
You are not large enough to do both.
We might surprise you.
The plural is a little creepy, Your Majesty.
We might contain multitudes. You have loved me through my worst. You have abandoned me and returned. You have hated me and still you have loved me. Say the thing. I have tools for coping. The doctor is right here.
I don't want to ruin everything that's good in what we have just because I have to get something off my chest. I don't want to.
Don't you need to?
Not if I lose you.
Let me surprise you.
You're gonna hate me.
Nothing will.
Adam held me down.
What? Wait!
I know you can't believe it.
Her big brother?
Wait, that's impossible. He adored you.
He tortured me.
He had a nickname for you.
He called me Pinky.
Oh my God. He called you Pinky.
He was always on the bike with those guys, and my story was all about that goddamn tandem bicycle. I thought deep inside somewhere you knew, but you were so little, I'm sure you don't remember that day. When we got older and I told you what happened, I thought if I told you about Adam, you'd hate me. He's family.
Yeah, family. That's always healthy.
I know you love him.
I do. I idolized him, but
He's a predator, Alex.
he's a predator. He always has been.
All that time. I watched you adoring him.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That should have been mine to carry. I'm a terrible friend.
You didn't know.
I left you alone.
Angry, just, so angry. I was that appendix.
Hold it. That's the thing you needed to... So you're not in love with her.
We really should have held out for a female therapist.
It's like Shirley Jackson took a pass at trifles.
Wait a minute. The day of the pitch, when you flipped out?
Yeah,
In the car on the way over, I called him.
for his birthday.
On speakerphone.
What are you gonna do?
Well, I'm gonna hate him on your behalf until long after you've forgotten his name and my name and your own name. And then I'll keep hating him on your behalf for all the years I didn't know I should have been.
You think he was abused too?
Are you looking for referral stock?
Oh, Alex, my dear Alex, I am so sorry. I'm gonna forget you.
Oh, your cells won't.
Thank you for firing me. Oh, I didn't know how to quit. I don't want to let go.
I get it.
I know I'm a lot.
You are a lot. That is true.
Maybe too much, sometimes.
Too much is perfect. I wouldn't settle for anything less.
Recording started.
Okay, this case file closes here with achievement of the desired outcome and ample raw material for a really powerful final chapter once I scrub out all the recognizable details. Yeah, Eric talked me into finishing the book. What was I thinking? Throw away 2.5 years of work and a mid-5-figure advance because of some dream I can't even remember? Oh, speaking of memory, remember to mention Eric and the acknowledgements. Remember to ask Mike about shooting the jacket photo on his boat. One hand on the tiller, wind in my... Oh my God, I just flashed on the perfect title for this chapter. The Ferryman's Toll. I love it. Should be safe. Alexandra wasn't in the room for that session, and Marguerite... Well, I think we can roll the dice on that.
Recording ended.
Directed by Michael Raleigh. Production manager, Kevin Ty. Written by Samantha King, Jean Marie Simpson, Dylan Brody, and Gary Wright. With the voices of Gary Wright, Lynn Griffin, and Elizabeth Saunders. Deaf Sign Language performers, Kamaldeen Awal, Margaret Fabawale, and Boluwatify Makanjuola. Produced at Albion Studio, Mesa, Arizona. The Ferryman's Toll was made possible by a grant from the Arizona Commission on the Arts. I'm Ray Williams. Thank you for joining us.